So let's begin our exercise 3 practice with the guitar by doing the very first activity we need to do, which is to simply learn to call out the four most basic notes of each of these 7 chords in any tonal octave that we might build on the guitar. For example, if I'm here and I place note 1 under my pinky finger on the A string, the 5th string, then the notes of the major scale fall like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And all we're going to do is play all 4 notes of each of these 7 chords, but we're going to stay limited to this range with note 1 at the bottom and note 7 at the top. This is what I call the tonal point of view, because we're learning to see where the notes of each of these chords actually exist within the tonal octave. We're not making the root of the chord our ground floor. We're not thinking of every new chord as being another note 1, right? We're learning to see how consonance itself, the consonant notes in these chords, actually flow through the octave as the chords change. I think that'll become more clear as you begin practicing, and if you don't understand exactly what I'm saying right now, don't worry about it. But think of it this way, that what we're trying to learn is when the chord flips from the 1 chord to the 2 chord, which are the notes in the octave that start to attract my ear? Okay, where is my ear naturally attracted? Like little lights that light up, okay? Imagine the 7 notes of the major scale, and at any given time, there are 4 of those notes that are lit up because they attract your ear. And what we're learning to do is to visualize all 7 chords of the major scale as simply, a particular collection of lights that light up in the octave, rather than having to like move our 1 and, think of it as like a key change or something and base everything on the new root note of the new chord. What we want to do is stay put, right? I've got my tonal octave, I'm on my tonal map, and no matter what comes my way, I know that those are just, certain notes that surround me, and there are some that are going to attract my ear more than others. And we study from that point of view. We also study the other point of view, which I'm going to get to in a moment. But this is the more important point of view, the one I'm showing you right now, and it's the one I want you to spend the most time with, where we stay limited within this tonal octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we play all 7 chords. So for example, the 1 chord is just 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. And now the 2 chord is where we need to rearrange, because if you think about the definition of the 2 chord, we would start on note 2, and the notes of the 2 chord would be 2, 4, 6, 1, 6, 4, 2. But where is note 1 really? We're not going to put note 1 at the top because we already had note 1 at the bottom, because we're improvising in this tonal octave between note 1 at the bottom and note 7 at the top. You could think of it horizontally as your tonal map. And remember that when you leave that tonal map, where do you go? Where do you find yourself? Well, you just find yourself in another octave that was identical to this one. So everything we want to study and everything we want to understand about music is already right there on the tonal map. And what we want to understand about the 2 chord then is that the notes 2, 4, 6, and 1, okay? In other words, notes 1, 2, 4, and 6 are the notes that naturally attract our ear in that moment. And so we could say that the consonance of the harmony flows through those notes at that moment when we're in the 2 chord. And so that's literally the way we're going to practice it. We're going to play notes 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2, 1. And so we'll go back to the 1 chord. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. Now the 2 chord. 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2, 1. And we just stay there and enjoy that, and we can improvise melodies. In other words, for example, when you're improvising in the 2 chord, you can hang out there all day if you want. You don't have to just do it in this mechanical kind of like classical scale study style, right? I mean, and all those are the notes of the 2 chord. 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 2, 1, 2. And whenever you're ready, you can move on to the 3 chord. And the notes of the 3 chord are 3, 5, 7, and 2. But remember, note 2 we've already got down here at the bottom. So the order in which we're going to play these notes are 2, 3, 5, 7. And those notes will be right here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2. 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5, 2, 3. And then maybe I'll go back to the 2 chord. 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 6. 1, 2, 4, 2, 6, 4, 2, 1, 2. 2, 3, 5, 7. Now I'm in the 3 chord. 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 2, 3, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 7. And then we move on to the 4 chord. The 4 chord, the notes of the 4 chord would be 4, 6, 1, and 3. And so now we have 2 notes that we're going to play out of order at the bottom. So in a tonal octave where these notes are actually found, it would be notes 1, 3, 4, and 6. And we play them like this. 1, 3, 4, 6, 4, 3, 1. 1, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4, 6, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4. And now we have lots of different possibilities for alternating between these chords because we've seen 4 different chords already. So for example, I'll play in the 3 chord and then I'll play in the 4 chord, and I'll just go back and forth between these 2 chords. 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3. 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4. Now I'm in the 4 chord, right? 4, 6, 4, 3, 1, 3, 4, 6, 4, 4, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 3. Right? So you can just enjoy creating those sounds, even though we're just playing one note at a time, and I haven't gone outside the octave. I'm just between notes 1 and 7 the whole time. But by just omitting certain notes and only allowing yourself to use others, you're kind of putting these chords into the air. And even though you don't have any accompaniment going on behind you, you can feel these chords. You can feel the harmonic changes, and that's one of the cool things. So let's keep going. The 5 chord would be the notes 5, 7, 2, and 4. And notes 2 and 4 are actually down here, right? So the notes are going to be 2, 4, 5, and 7. 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 7, 5, 5, 4, 2, 4, 5, 2, 5, 7, 5, 4, 5, 2. Whenever I play in the 5 chord, these kind of funky sounds sort of automatically occur to me. My mind just goes there because so much of that music, funk and soul and blues and early rock and roll, is based in the 5 chord, right? Now let's build the 6 chord. The 6 chord would be notes 6, 1, 3, and 5. And now all 3 of these notes, 1, 3, and 5, we need to bring down to their proper place in the tonal octave. And so we would understand this chord as notes 1, 3, 5, and 6. And we would play those like this. 1, 3, 5, 6, 5, 3, 1. Now, when you hear that, it probably doesn't sound very much like the 6 chord to you, because with note 1 at the bottom, and because the 6 chord and the 1 chord share so many notes, right? There's 1, 3, and 5. All 3 of these notes of the triad of the 1 chord are there. And because of the way this chord gets inverted and you have note 1 at the bottom, it's really hard to feel it as the 6 chord. When you're stuck doing this exercise exactly the way I'm showing you, and you don't want to step outside this little tonal octave between notes 1 and 7, then it's likely that the 6 chord is not going to feel very much like a 6 chord. It's probably going to feel like a 1 chord. If you're familiar with the term a major 6th chord, this would be a D major 6 chord, right? It's notes 1, 3, 5, and 6 in the D major scale, and that's what it ends up sounding like. But don't worry about that. Okay, all we're doing is practicing our awareness of the fact that these are the 4 notes that make up the 6 chord, and where are they found within the tonal octave. And some of the chords, it's easier to kind of feel the sensation of that harmonic environment as you're improvising and playing in this exercise than with others. I mean, there are others that you just don't really bring out that character as much, and the 6 chord is really the best example of that, where it ends up sounding a lot like the 1 chord, but just don't worry about that. And finally, we're going to investigate the 7 chord. And the notes of the 7 chord are 7, 2, 4, and 6. And so now all 3 of these highest notes, 2, 4, and 6, are actually located below note 7 in the tonal octave. And so we're going to play them like this. 2, 4, 6, 7, 6, 4, 2. 2, 4, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, comfortable playing the notes of the 7 chord, you might want to alternate between the 7 chord and a different chord, the way we've done earlier. For example, you might pick the 7 chord and the 1 chord, which is a nice combination. We can improvise in the 1 chord for a moment. 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7, 6, 4. And I'm just, playing around, getting to know the sounds. Remember that, we're not interested in the kind of, technical, mechanical scale studies that might be excellent for discovering, physical things about movement and sound production and all that stuff that we need to interpret music and to execute the notes. But there's a whole other field of study that we're discovering and that we're practicing, which is to get to know the sounds yourself, because you can't improvise and create music with them if they don't already come to have a kind of special meaning to you, right? Like, you have to discover their melodic possibilities. And that's why I don't just encourage these improvisation games to help you pass the time as you're practicing. It's actually the other way around. In other words, the improvisation games are not here to make it easier for you to do your scale studies. They're the technical exercises that make it easier for you to do the real work, which is creating music, which is discovering the sounds for yourself and improvising with them. So remember that's always, always, always our goal. We are absolutely not interested in just 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. I just went through all 7 chords, and I got absolutely nothing out of it. Okay, so that doesn't serve me. The only thing that I could possibly do at the moment that I'm trying to create music with someone is fill my head with so many bad habits and a kind of arrogance about, enjoying my own ability to play, fast, right, on the guitar, that probably what that's going to do, the more I practice that, the more likely it is for me to, commit some really stupid mistake when I'm improvising with other people and go off doing that stuff instead of listening to them and really using my imagination and engaging in a more sincere dialogue. So, I don't want to get too, preachy on you, but I do want you to understand that our goal is always the creative part. It's your growth as an artist. The technical stuff's easy. Music theory is just not all that complicated if you learn to look at it the right way. And the guitar, it's just a piece of wood. Eventually you'll get, pretty good at manipulating the strings and all that. The exciting thing and the infinite thing, the thing that is just unlimited in how much you can learn and discover and grow, is really the part that you bring to this, which is your sensitivity for the sounds, the way the sounds affect you, which is going to be different than the way they affect me, because that has to do with your culture, the music you've been exposed to, your own values and taste and sensitivity and so forth. And all that stuff that you bring, that is both your greatest gift that you have to share with other people, and it's also really the most exciting, for me personally, I think it's the most interesting thing to explore and discover. So, as always, I know I say this a lot, but it bears repeating. Take time to have fun with the sounds and to enjoy them and to get to know them, and don't think of them as like a technical obstacle or some physical challenge that you're going to master. Okay, musical notes don't get mastered, right? They're like, you could think of them as something that requires more respect than that, like anything else in nature or like a person. Our goal is not to just master them and manipulate them with ease. Our goal is to really get to know them. And so just take your time and have fun doing that, and try to find ways to activate your own creativity and your own sensitivity for these sounds, so that you can make your practicing meaningful on that creative level. And as soon as you're comfortable creating all 7 of these chords within the tonal octave, then in the next video we'll take it one step further and we'll open it up and we'll play these chords all over the neck of the guitar.